Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Amazon exclusive 60 Amazing Years of Spider-Man's Silk and Doc Ock 2-pack. This is something that I don't know how many people are super excited for this one. Both of them are repaints, but we'll see. Anyway, packaging, it's windowless. You guys know the deal. On one side we have 3D renders of the figures, and then on the other side we have some actual comic book artwork right over there, which always looks very cool, or most of the time looks very cool. On the back you can see the figures along with the accessories, and then on the top we do not have a spot varnished 60 Amazing Years of Spider-Man logo, and on the bottom we get a barcode. And I just gotta say, Silk, I love Silk, and Doc Ock is my favorite of the Spider-Man villains, but Silk I think is a really cool character. She got bit by the same spider that bit Spider-Man, and then that they have this weird crazy sexual attraction to each other, and I just think she's a cool character. Anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Darkside Toys is a store for you. Link below.
And here are the figures out of the packaging, and I gotta say, man, that Shriek body mold is winning me over more and more. Posing this Silk figure around for me was a lot of fun. I really like that body mold, man. I liked it the first time, liking it more now. The Doc Ock, disappointing, but actually not as disappointing as I was expecting it to be. I mean, I'm disappointed, don't get me wrong, but there's just one thing that they threw in here that I just didn't expect, and it does make a difference. However, I'm bummed out about the freaking Doc Ock figure, man. Anyway, let's get a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figures. So here's all the accessories that we get with the figures, and I actually do like these accessories. I'm gonna talk about my complaints, but I like the offering as far as having two heads for each of the characters, a complete set of hands with fisted hands and open hands right over here. I like having those two options, and then for Silk you get fisted web grabbing and wall crawling, or her thwipping, and then you get this additional right hand that's clearly made out of clear plastic, and it has this really nice web effect coming out of the fingertips over here. I really like that, and it's thoroughly painted. It looks really good. I mean, they didn't paint the peg, but that's okay. And this just weaves over the arm, so it looks pretty nice. I'll just demonstrate right over here. Just loop in like that, and then port in like that, and I wish it could hinge up and down, but still, I like this. Comparing it to the PulseCon exclusive, or the Hasbro Pulse exclusive, thanks again Mr. Grudge, I think this did come out better. I still like this, but yeah, this is definitely niftier. You have the little handkerchief right over here, and then you get the Olivia Munn head sculpt. I mean, doesn't she look like Olivia Munn? No? It looks more like Olivia Munn than a Korean woman with a bob haircut. I actually Google image searched Korean woman bob haircut, and I got all these images right over here. So let's go ahead and look at a bunch of those and look at this head sculpt, and I'll just leave it up to you guys to see how many of you think this looks like at least maybe one of these images over here. You know what I mean? So I'll let you be the judge. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I do think the paint apps look really good on these heads. Like, they've added this photoreal tech right here to them, and I think it looks great. I'm just irritated with the likeness. For me, it doesn't hit the mark, but that's just my opinion. I'm curious to know what your opinion is. Really like this head sculpt over here too. Looks really good, and I like the blue added to the hair also. And then the Doc Ock heads look really good with the added paint detail on the mouth, and the teeth look fantastic. I mean, for a comparison, man, see the original version right over here. Compared to this one, it's more comic accurate, and it has more paint detail, so I like that. And then you could lift this up if you want to see the eyes. They're all thoroughly painted in there, so that's really cool. They did the same thing with the other one, right? This is a new head sculpt, so yeah, looks good with the brown eyes in there and everything. You can move that around even though it's not removable. But we get the two hands, you know, nothing crazy over here. But these frustrate the hell out of me. Oh my god. All right, so first off, they changed the color, right? And it's almost the same exact things. Now, the one thing I wanted to say about them that I do like is that the lower set of arms, or the ones that have the X's on them, they actually turn into the figure more so than the previous versions. So they're kind of like, they're just like molded slightly differently. They just have a different direction. I put the two figures side by side over here, just right out of the box, so you could see the difference of the direction of the tentacles, all right? And then were the arms. After I heated up the lower arms a little bit to see if it would change, because I'm used to seeing that happen when we had the original packaging, and it's not much of a change over there. So what I'm really bummed out about, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but why didn't they cut these up and have a male to female port thing going on so that you could at least rotate these around or have a ball joint in them so that maybe you could extend them or swap them around and stuff? Like if they just cut through here and then put a peg in one side and a female end on the other, you could, I mean, you would have so many possibilities. Because I asked the Hasbro team before, like, why don't you have bendy wire? And they're saying, oh, it's safety issues and legal stuff or whatnot. All right, fine, I get it, I guess, but why not cut them in half, have a port there, and then rotate it around so you could have more posing options? I just use my Dave Wheeler custom more than anything else. Which I shouldn't have to do. I would rather have Hasbro make the figure and, you know, make it in a way where I don't have to send it to somebody else for them to fix it, like how I will with my Null figure. So again, streak body mold over here, except for the chest right over here. You guys may be wondering, why didn't they go with the one, you know, the more defined chest over here? And I think it's just because of the logo. I think it's this logo would not have come out looking right if it was all in the crevices over there. You know what I mean? Like, this is a much easier template to work with, I think. Unfortunately, you do have the extra hole right over there from the AOA Rogue, but I do like having this port because I love my Mafex stands. That's the stand that I use all the time that people ask me about, and it ports in perfectly into the back of the figure. So for that, I like it. For that, I don't like that upper body. But the paint apps look really clean on this. Unfortunately, I have one little speck right over there of white missing from it. But other than that, it did come out looking really good on my figure. Again, I really love this body mold. Oh, I got some parts right over here where it's a little messy on the leg. So I wish it was a little bit cleaner there. There's looking at the back of the figure again. And we have some nice bright white paint right here on the feet. It looks like it is a little rough towards the tip of the toes, though. So it's like she's got the dirty shoes on or something like that. It's comparing the white paint between the two figures, and it did come out a little bit better on the older version. Oh, and just to get a close comparison right here, yeah, this older one does have more paint, but like, man, the thinner line work over here on the new one, that looks a lot better to me. I don't know. They both look really good, but this looks a little bit better with the thinner lines, I think. And then for the Doc Ock, I do like the paint apps more so on this new one compared to the older one. Not a drastic difference at all. Like, it's just different tones of greens and yellows. So very much the same damn thing. It's just painted a little bit different. That's all. So I wanted to go over the articulation again really quick. I mean, I love that she has the bob hair so that you can move the hair or the head sculpt all the way back like that. Shifts forward and back like a pile driver. Move down, turn side to side, and a decent amount of head pivoting. Shoulders move all the way up and you can move them down. Rotate a full 360, bicep swivel. Beautiful double jointed elbows. I'm still not really totally over it. I'm really happy about that. Wrists turn side to side. They hinge up and down. Unfortunately, it just shifts forward a little bit with the ab crunching. It's not even full on ab crunch. Moves back a whole lot more so. Turns side to side. Good pivoting. By the way, the paint app, even though we have a little bit of a gap right there, that is annoying, but the paint apps do look very clean. So I am pleased with that. And then we have the hips that move outward that far, and she'll kick forward very far. I mean, you can really get this all the way up right here. I think that's so cool for, you know, Spidey-like poses and stuff. She'll kick back, upper thigh cut, great pinless double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down, move up, and she has beautiful ankle pivot. And the Doc Ock articulation with the new head sculpt right here, you can look up that much and down very far, shifts forward and back, turns side to side, a little bit of head tilting. Shoulders will move outward that much, down, rotate a full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, the wrist turns side to side, hinge up and down. You get the rotation over here, pivot, crunches forward, back, and then the hips are very stiff on this figure. I checked to see if there are different hips because I missed that detail on my Renew Your Vows Spider-Man figure review, and I'm going to talk about that figure tomorrow, so stay tuned. But yeah, he'll kick forward that much. Very clicky, stiff leg joints over here, or hip joints anyway, will not move back. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, boot rotation, ankles move down, and they move up only, they actually don't move up. This one moves up, this one does not, and he has beautiful ankle pivot on both sides. Now to measure out these two figures, and no surprise, you can see Silk is just a little over 6 inches tall and Doc Ock is standing just a little under 6.5 inches tall. And then for some size comparisons, you could see the Hasbro Pulse exclusive silk, and then we have the original Doc Ock right over here from Hasbro. One point I also wanted to make, and I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me complain, but look, it's just that if they had made one slight alteration over here and made this the male end of the port and this the female end of the port, and used the same kind of porting system that they did attaching over here, you'd be able to attach the arms to each other. You'd be able to change things around. You'll be able to use some creativity there, but the way they have this, you can't. You know, I'd prefer if they had used bendy wire. Second preference, cut them in half and then make it so that you could rotate them, or at the very least make it so that you can attach them to each other if you wanted to do that. But no, you can't. You can't! Well, and then to bring in the original silk figure, you could see all three silks over here, and I do like this one the most. Even though you have thicker lines right there for the red over the white, you can see the S a whole lot more clearly, for me anyway, with this one, and I just overall like this version the most. I got to do some head swaps, of course, though, just so you guys could see. At first, I didn't like the short hair idea. I was like, oh, I like her with the longer hair, but the posability that the new head sculpt gives you with the shorter hair just makes the figure a lot more fun for me. Put the new head on the old body right there in case you wanted to see that. There that goes. While we're swapping heads, I wanted to put this new maskless head on the Yeska Yone's body, and holy crap, that is awesome. Yeah, all right. It looks like a half white, half Asian punk rock chick. I think that's very cool. Damn, that looks really good. I like that a lot. The flesh tone doesn't match, but still, I like it. Then here's the new silk figure next to the Shriek figure that the body mold is based off of, aside from that upper torso. I feel so dumb. The lower torso is actually the same on the Shriek body as the old Kate Bishop body. So yeah, the lower half is not any different between these two figures. And then for a 60 amazing years of Spider-Man figure comparison, we have our first appearance Spider-Man, our Future Foundation Stealth Spider-Man, our Renew Your Vows 2-pack set, and then we have the Null and Venom 2-pack and the Iron Spider. And then here's Silk and Doc Ock next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Seen you here before, and I've seen these stupid things here before too. And then I've seen before also, actually. Couple of times. I was gonna think of something to say, and I got nothing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Now, when I made my reveal video on this 2-pack set a while ago, I had mentioned then this is an easy pass for some people, and for others, they're gonna want to get it. For me personally, I actually had a lot of fun with this 2-pack. Well, I had a lot of fun with the silk figure. I feel like this was just really primarily an experience with an upgraded silk figure more than anything else. Easy for me to say, but yeah, silk is awesome. I really like the silk figure a lot. But the Doc Ock, it's cool. I like the upgraded features to it for sure, but I'm not excited for it. Like, it's something that I probably could just pass on and try to just find the silk figure being sold on eBay or something just all on her own. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do love Doc Ock. Doc Ock is my favorite Spider-Man villain. So for me, I'm okay with having an extra Doc Ock, having an upgraded Doc Ock with an extra head sculpt. I think that's cool to have. I just am not the biggest fan of the price point of these things, because this costs around $60. It's an Amazon exclusive, and I really feel like it's just really an upgraded silk figure purchase, because that's the figure I had the most fun with. You know what I mean? That was the one that I really wanted, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Like, I really love the silk figure. The Doc Ock, mixed feelings about this 2-pack set. So for me personally, I'm happy with it, but I could understand how people could just pass on this completely. So at the price point of $60, I'm gonna give this 2-pack set a sud rating of...
It's not so bad.
And yeah, I don't love it. It's just not so bad because I really like the silk figure, but the Doc Ock I could easily pass on. But I'm still a Doc Ock fan, so I like having the bonus head sculpts more than anything else. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see the latest Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.